crafty friends, it's time for another project recipe process video. My friend Kimberly Sparks and I are collaborating this year, and we're working through the 52 Scrapbooking Project Recipes book put out by Creative Memories. This was a promotional book that came out last year, and we are working through some of the sketches in here this year, one each month. And this month we are using project recipe number 4. So Kimberly's over making her a process video using the same sketch as I am. What we use and everything like that is just personal preference and what we pick, but we both are going to use the same project recipe. So let's take a look at this project recipe. In the instructions, you've got some strips of paper that are going vertically and then some going horizontally. We've got 5 photos, 2 4x6s that are horizontal, 2 4x6s that are vertical, and a 4x4 photo. And then we've got like a title area up here. If we look at the sample, it looks like that they've started with a pattern paper as their base, and then they've got a couple of strips of paper going down. I think this was in like the Vivid Medleys, the butterscotch. Oh yeah, it tells me right here, pictured Vivid Medleys butterscotch collection. How handy. And then we've got the photos. I can tell you right now that I'm going to be switching this up just a little bit. I'm not going to be putting pattern paper on pattern paper. That's just not my style. I think it gets too busy. Even though they've used all like the same color, like it's all in the butterscotch collection, so it's all kind of more monochromatic. That's not a look that I like. So I'm going to tell you right now that we're definitely going to be switching this layout up just a little bit. So let's actually pull the paper that I'm planning on using for this layout today. I have the Happy Together designer paper pack. It's a very cute, beautiful Valentine's, loves, reds, blacks, and whites and pinks collection. In fact, they use white, soft pink, red, black, and platinum. And I first want to kind of talk about paper and how I go in a little more depth into how I pick my paper. So let's just fan this out. It's obviously double-sided, so I've got it kind of sorted by the fronts and the backs. And let's put that one that way. So we've got these 6 different sheets of paper. And I want to kind of show you, like when I look at a paper collection, how I put my papers together. First of all, I'm looking for those hero papers. That's the paper that's really tying everything else into it. And I see 2 different hero papers in this collection. There's obviously this heart paper. It's a very busy pattern. It's pulling in multiple colors. You've got the blacks, the pinks, the reds, all in this pack. And then also this piece right here. I would say it is another hero paper. It's a very busy print. I mean, these aren't like incredibly busy patterns, but it is a very busy pattern paper. There's not like a ton of colors, but I mean, incredibly busy with lots of colors. This one just has the pink and blacks and white, but I would say these 2 would be considered the hero papers in this collection. I would actually not put these 2 papers together. They very much are competing against each other. So I'm going to set this one aside for just a second, and let's look at papers that we could put with this heart. I don't love, and I'm just laying these next to each other. This is okay, but I don't love it. But let's look at this next to this paper, and how cute is that together? So I would definitely put these 2 prints together. I would not put this piece with this piece. We're the red base, and then this is a light, it's just too much. I would not put that with it. So let's set that one aside. I do really like this black striped, and it could go either way. I think would be super cute depending on the layout. So I definitely like these 2 sheets together a lot. Let's see what else we've got here. And then we've got this red piece, and I think I don't love it with this paper. It's so busy. I don't love it. I think you could get away with using a little bit on here, but I don't know that I would put that with this combo. I definitely like these 2 sheets together. Now, if we look at these ones, I really like these two pieces together, and I actually really like the stripe with this piece. Again, I like these three together. So if I were to pull pieces out here, I would put these three papers together for sure in a layout. And I would put this one, which is the back side of here, I would put these two pieces together as well. And then I would probably bring in maybe some cardstock with this collection if I needed more sheets of paper. So I would put those three and these two together, which does leave us this piece and this piece that I didn't use. So I would put maybe those together. I actually don't like just these two because I feel like there's no hero paper. I would want a different pattern with that was more of a hero sheet. So, and the same with this one, like, yeah, once again, there's not, like, we've both got two vertical stripes. I probably wouldn't use this side very much but I really do like this piece. So I would put those three pieces together, and I would put these two pieces together. And the pictures I'm using are actually some Valentine's Day pictures today. So I'm going to probably use this combination and set these other sheets aside. So I also want to show what happens when I have, like, oh, I'm putting those together, or like, and I, maybe need some additional support papers. That's when I kind of pull into my stash. And I looked at what I had, and I've got this Bold and Slate designer paper packet. I think this is maybe an older paper packet, and it might have been an advisor exclusive one, but it has some really great, it's got some brown tones in it, but it also has some that kind of black and charcoaly gray type colors. And we've got this wash paper that is really pretty, like I like. It's got this words, but I do think those are more in the brown tones, so I probably wouldn't use that. But it does also have this wood grain that I think would be great with this collection. So looking at this, I definitely think I would lean towards, oh, and then this other side, nope, that's too much of the same. It's another striped. So, but I could pull that into this collection, or I could even just stick with some cardstock. But look at our other combo here. With these three pieces, the wood grain I would probably steer clear of just because it's another stripe, like where you've got the stripe already. But I do like that with that gray line. That could be very cute with it too. So that would be kind of another option. And then we have our papers that we didn't really use. This red, and I think that's where I would put something like this together. What was the other? Oh, the red floral. So, but even better, look at that combo together. That would be a very cute, that red would really pop with these grays and blacks. And you could even put this wood grain with that red would be really cute together too. I actually really like this combo. I really like that combo together. This is a very random pattern. This has kind of got a directional, and this is a wash. So I like those pieces together. So even though I'm not like loving this pattern with the paper that came in, or even this one with the paper that came in the collection, it doesn't mean I wouldn't use this sheet. I would just use it with other papers. So I hope that is kind of helpful to you as you're looking at your papers. And this is for sure an opinion thing. It's what do you like? So keep that in mind, and don't feel like that, oh, well, this is what Nicole said she would put together. That must be what it has to be. Absolutely not. You put together what you like and lay them out together and see what speaks to you. But I think I'm going to be working with this paper today. So let me show you my pictures. This is from Valentine's Day. We had, first of all, this is my cute husband, and I had been teasing him about how he hadn't asked me to be his Valentine, and he said, honey, we've been married 25 years. It's already like, you're my Valentine. But he had come home from a hair appointment, his haircut, and he actually came home with flowers and asked me to be his Valentine. How cute is that? So we ended up having dinner at home because I actually don't like going out on Valentine's Day because it's always so crazy busy and it's more expensive. And frankly, we're pretty good cooks. I mean, this was my Valentine's Day dinner. That is like a steak, like, oh, so good. Loaded baked potato, grilled asparagus. It was delicious. But we ended up having a candlelight Valentine's Day dinner at home with my 2 girls that are still at home. So I have some pictures of us, and there's Jason and my other daughter. And then my husband actually hurt his back that day, later that evening, before dinner. I think it was actually just right before dinner. And so he was kind of a cripple the rest of the day, which was super sad. So he was laying on the floor because it was more comfortable to lay on the floor, that it was flat and not a harder surface. And so my daughter took a picture of her. So it's not how I planned Valentine's Day to turn out, but it's how it happened. And so I definitely want to document that story, include that in our pictures, that, yeah, our Valentine's Day wasn't picture perfect. It started out really good, but anyways, it was a little rough end. But anyways, so those are the pictures that I'm using. And looking at this sketch, we've got so I'm definitely going to use a solid base instead of a pattern paper or print for my base. So I'm probably going to start out with like maybe a white cardstock base. Then we've got these 2 strips that go here and here. And so you can see those right here, these A, B, C, and D strips. So if I'm using these 2 pieces, I would either want them to go this direction, like this is D and B on the inside, and then this piece on the outside, or I would want it to go this direction. So, and let's say I'm putting this all on a white cardstock base. Something kind of like this, okay? And I love how everything is complementing each other and not competing against each other. So also in this collection, I was super excited about these. They have these really cute heart embellishments. I'm definitely going to be using those. And then we have a whole bunch of different little embellishments as well. So we've got some cute little tags, things that are super fun. Let's see. And we've got a whole bunch of fun things here, okay? And some little hearts and butterflies and those candy, little words. I love the things like these because I like to use those as in embellishments. I like adding little words, sentiments to my embellishments. So a lot of cute, fun things in here. So for the title, they had a square, which it's piece L, which is a 4.5 by 4.5. And with this sun, and then You Are My Sunshine die cuts on this layout. So I'm going to kind of look through here and what I would want to use as my title. And I was thinking one of these could be kind of fun for my title over here. And then like there's this word cutie or cute that would be really cute. Cute would be cute. Yeah. We've got kind of some hearts on here that would be fun. We've got those words. I like these. There was this also that could be kind of for my title. This could also be kind of for journaling, and some of these flowers and the butterflies. So anyways, we've got some options here, and I really kind of liked, where did that little cute go? Here. And I thought, oh, this is a good starting point. But originally I was thinking this heart paper, because it's the hero paper, I'd probably want to use that. And then smaller pieces, because D and B are smaller. Like that's a 1-inch strip, and a 2-inch strip would be smaller. Let me show you, like if that was the end of the layout, something like this. But this little card totally is getting lost in this heart paper. So let's switch these two. and do just more like something like that. And then stick this on here and see how that makes such a huge difference of how this title card kind of pops off of the striped instead of getting lost. So I definitely like that much better. So I think I want to use the striped as my wider piece and the heart as the thinner piece. Now they are really using a little tiny bit because they're getting all of this out of one sheet of paper. Well, my heart and my stripe are two different sheets, so I'm not going to be restricted by that. That's definitely not going to be a restriction for me. And so I may want, let's see, C is 6 inches and D is 2 inches. So let's pull out my mat. Before I cut, I'm going to want to see if I want to follow the cutting guide. That's what we're going to determine here. So let's set that aside. And this piece is 2 inches, and then that is 6 inches, which if I don't butt them against, or if I just butt them up against each other and not layer them, that's coming clear to there. So, okay, so that would look kind of like that, and this would be, let me scoot this over just a little bit. That would be the edge of the paper. And I hope you're seeing that you can definitely switch. I mean, I might use the same general layout, but you can definitely change things up. So I've got that there. We've got that photo here. Now I kind of have to decide on the other side. Which one I want where. So I'll probably go like about there. Okay, and these are not lined up, they're kind of offset. So I do feel like the 6 inches is good. Okay. And then they have a strip across the bottom. So I went into my stash. These were actually just 2 scraps. And I pulled out some black cardstock to do maybe a strip across the bottom. So I'm kind of thinking that. I'm liking that. I definitely like this card, if I'm going to use that for my title, on the black. Now they cut a 4 in the sketch, in the recipe. Sorry, I keep calling it a sketch because that's the vocabulary I used to use. So in the recipe, they do a 4.5 by 4.5 behind the title. Let's go ahead and cut those pieces. And then we'll figure out the right-hand page. I hope that kind of showing you, and I definitely want my stripes to go this direction. So I liked how that looked. So we're going to use the 6 inch here. Oh my gosh, somebody, I would have to go look to see her name, but she made a comment about how it's an inch from the cut line to the edge. And so when I'm trying to decide, see how far to go down, if I'm not cutting all the way through, that I can just, like, if I need to cut down to like 4 inches, I just go the edge of this to the 5, and I will be, the cut line is at the 4. And I was like, oh my word, you just changed my life. So I know I thanked her in the, commented on her comment, replied to her comment, but I just, oh, genius. Thank you. I love what a sharing community, the paper crafting community, can be. So I know, like, we all come from different backgrounds and we're all like kind of doing our thing and have exposed and experienced and learned new things, but we can all share with each other, and it's such a fun community to be in, and I love that. Okay, the other thing is on the sketch, they cut these down to 11 inches. So my sketch is getting, or my recipe, sorry, my recipe is getting buried. It didn't go clear to the top. So I do need to decide if I want to do that or not. If I want to cut it down or if I'm going to leave it going all the way to the top. Oh my goodness, you know what? I cut that to 6, but when I laid this out, I had it laid out to 8. So it was wider than I had it shifted. Well, luckily I have 2 sheets of paper, except let's see what we do on the other side. So if I do the 8, because I had it clear up to the 2, which I liked better. But let's see what we're doing on the other side. Okay, because that might make a difference. All right, so let's get our white base over here. And let me make sure I'm all in the camera. And I really do try to be straight. And it's hard, people. It's hard. So I think I'm pretty straight. So, okay. Actually, I'm probably not. Need more grid lines on my phone. So, okay. They have, it's pieces B and a 1 and a 3-inch piece. So, I've got like a 6-inch piece here. What if we did the 6-inch on this side? What's the back side of this striped? Oh, it's that red flower that I wasn't using anyways. I printed my photos with a white photo mat, but we may need to, we'll have to see if we have to double mat these. So we've got kind of this going on. And a strip across the bottom. And I think my strips are like 1.5 inches, but like I said, they were just literally from, I just pulled them out of my scrap bag. That's kind of a placeholder. I don't think that that's the, I don't know if they're the same size. I think they are. So what if I use the 6-inch on that side, and then actually might cut maybe a 3 and a 6, because I really liked this whole piece on so if that's 2, I might cut this one at, what if we just gave ourselves a little bit of wiggle room here? Like that. Okay, that means this needs to be 3.5 for this other side. Let's get my paper trimmer. Okay, I know I'm cutting this off camera. That actually gives me a little bit more of the heart paper showing, which is our hero paper. Okay, I'm liking that. I like that this whole title box is on, or title is on the striped. And I do need to decide if I want my photos double matted. And I could put that, I had them printed with a white mat. It's an option on my printing dialog box to do either borderless or just a 4x6, and that puts it with a white mat. I'm kind of torn. If I were to double mat, I'd maybe double mat like this one that is more of like, anyways, it's the most important picture to me. And maybe do like a double mat on there. Just using these pieces to kind of give my eye a idea of what that would look like. I could also pull out some like of the baby pink color and even look at that. Let's see. Or it's soft pink, sorry. Because I do have some of that soft pink. I definitely don't like that one. Don't like that. So possibly we'll have to think on that one. Let's keep going. The other thing so I did pull out, let's see, we've got these other embellishments. We have our title up here. They've put in the recipe, they've put like kind of their journaling and stuff kind of over in this corner, somewhere in there, which we could use one of these, or we could do just maybe a journaling square. But they also had, like, I love the flowers in our title, and so I kind of want to pull that over here onto this side of the page. And I do like this you and me, and I like that little scallop. That's kind of fun. Could even kind of more bring that down in here. They actually had a little word on the recipe. They put a little word right down here, so maybe something down there. Let's see, we've got a cute little butterfly. That could be fun right in there. I'm just kind of digging through what we've got here. Oh, I like those little flowers. That could be kind of cute in our cluster down here. Something in that. Okay, so this is a 4x6. I'm gonna cut a 4.5 by 6.5 photo mat for that main photo because I definitely am liking the look of that. I don't think, so I keep like all of my scraps in a bag because that's what I pull from first before I'll cut into a new sheet of paper. And so that's where those two strips came from. And I actually have this piece that would work for my photo map. So it was in my scraps. So I do really try to use up my scraps first. How do you store? Because this one really for me is the main photo. I'm just gonna look if a really thin mat around that kind of helps the title pop. I think it does. This is a 3x4. I try, definitely try. My scraps get smaller and smaller. Yeah, 3¼ by 3¼ You guys are getting the full process video experience here today, because I'm really where I'm kind of switching things up. So that just gives like a little 1/8 inch around that. I think I like the flowers tucked behind, maybe. Cute, cute, cute. Okay. I am liking where this is going. Okay, let's come back to what we're gonna do across the bottom here. Let's just let that sit for just a minute. I had this bold and slate that went with that paper, some embellishments as well. And I pulled and dumped those out. And I saw this really cute love, which I think would be perfect right down there or on this little embellishment. That's kind of what the look that kind of what I'm looking for. That was way cute. There's also some tags and hearts and circles. So I liked this, and I felt like it very much matched the style of the rest of this. So it might be something, I don't know, that we could use. It might be too much. So maybe down in this corner or something. Adding to that, we've already got that kind of Be Mine. There's this cute little tag. But like I said, might be too much. Okay. But I really think that love is really good. Maybe we'll use that heart. So the other thing is I pulled out one of my punches. This is the Garland Banner punch. And when I got this punch, I said, I'm like, I will use this all the time. So I punched some garland out of my scraps. It just went as far as I could go on the scraps. And I was wondering if maybe adding a little bit of a garland over here might be cute, or if it might be getting, that might be too much. It might be getting too heavy. The other thought I had, I'm gonna pause my video and go get a different punch. Okay, I went and grabbed my Elegant Diamond punch. You guys know I'm obsessed with this punch. And I just punched it in black. And I'm wondering if I cut this in half and then slide it, oh, I think this might be the ticket. Under here. Oh, that's a winner. That is definitely a winner. Look how lacy that looks right there on the edge of the layout. And it just adds that romantic, lacy, elegant. Oh my gosh, guys. If you do not have the Elegant Diamond Border Punch, go on my website and get it ordered right away because I love that punch. Okay, who would have thought? Like 7 months ago, I wasn't even using punches. Now I'm obsessed. All right, so I'm really liking how that just dressed that up. That is, and it's more light and like, because these other pieces are pretty heavy, but that just gives it that very light. Whereas this border, which was cute, but it was just almost too heavy. Does that make sense? Do you see in that? All right. Question is do I want to continue with this strip here? Okay, let's cut this in half. I'll do this part on camera here. Just show you how nice this cuts. So because of all these great lines, I can line this up on here. Looks like it's about 3/4 in. Now, if you were to do this with a non-rotary blade, it would totally cut and snag. How do I know that? Because I've done it before. All right. Oh, love that. This is really coming together nicely. I'm liking where we're headed. We're about to the point where I think I need to start gluing some things in place so I'm not constantly adjusting them. It's kind of fun to try out different things on, like you might be thinking one direction and just like, oh, it's not quite working for me. Let's try something else. I promise I was not intending to, in the beginning, to use that punch again, but here we are. Loving that little love right there. That really finished that off. Okay, I took a little break and went and made lunch, actually. It was very good. And then I actually went and typed up my journaling and then came back. Because sometimes, honestly, that if you're like kind of a little like, oh, I'm not sure where to go from here, that is a great thing to do, is to walk away. I know I've said that before on here, but I was like, I need to figure out where my journaling goes. So I have all of my elements on the layout. And I decided that I thought it would be best to put the journaling down here. So I went and typed up my journaling and I went ahead and printed it just on some white cardstock and matted it on black cardstock, which worked really well because I have this element with our title matted on black. And so I wanted to kind of repeat that over here on my journaling. So here's my little journaling square. And then as far as that 1.5 inch strip across the bottom, I kind of removed it and just left it without it and came back and looked at it again. And I don't think I'm going to put those on here. So on the project recipe, they do have a strip that goes across the bottom here. And it just wasn't working how my layout was coming together, so I took it off. The other thing I noticed was, and this is kind of a trick you can use in a lot of different places, when you have pattern papers or things butting up against each other, like here, this one works for me, like that one's fine. I think there's enough contrast there that it works. But how the black stripe was butting up against the elegant diamond border, I was like, I want to give it a little more finished edge to the stripe instead of having it just kind of end and butting up against that. So I cut 2 little strips of shimmer paper, and I'm going to actually lay these on here, and then when I glue this all down, it'll actually go kind of to cover that seam between the striped paper and that diamond border. And I think it just gives it more of like a finished edge, and it also adds a little sparkle, which adding sparkle is always good in my opinion. So you see how that kind of finishes, gives that a little bit of a cleaner edge there. So I'm kind of thinking I either need to keep this down, have this come down here, or have it up further so that it's kind of working its way down. Haven't quite decided yet. Okay. And then I was kind of looking through the embellishments, like where I found that love, and they had a family, and I know it is kind of more in a brown, not the black, but there is brown like in her sweater, like across the photos. And I was thinking that cute family, like reads that title, cute family. I kind of like how that reads, and that kind of I feel like adds a little bit more to the title and makes it pop just a little bit. So now that I had all of my elements, the journaling, I really don't think it needs those strips that go across the bottom, and I'm gonna just leave them off. Okay, well, I'm gonna start gluing things down. The other thing I do want to do is I do want to add a little bit of ink. So I have just a black ink pad. This is a close to my heart ink pad. See, it's a well-loved close to my heart ink pad. And I think I want to just kind of, I want to sponge the edges of some of these pieces. So as we're gluing those down. So like, for example, I'm going to just brush the edge of that. And then, let's try and see if it's right here. And then put that on there, and it just kind of softens the cut edges like that. I like that a lot. Okay. I am going to go ahead and just off camera sponge all the edges and glue everything down, and then we'll be right back to do the final finished touch of adding the little gems. Okay, everything's glued down, and I went ahead and sponged around the edges of all the paper, and I just want to bring this closer so you can see how I sponged around the edges of the white cardstock, the pattern paper, and see how it kind of gives it that nice framed line around each piece of paper so that they really have like almost that solid, kind of the same effect that the strip of shimmer paper gave between the striped and the border punch, but it's a thinner one. So I think that really kind of set it off. I did end up deciding to keep this photo a little below. I didn't want it so triangular. I wanted it more collage looking. And then when I went back and forth, and I might still even change my mind, but I ended up not putting this circle in here. You know, and I might change my mind. I might cut it in half and kind of put like part of it kind of up here, and I don't know. I keep switching back and forth, but I decided to wait until after I've added the gems and decide. So do you guys ever have like indecisiveness? So, but I'm excited to have these cute heart little gems here. So I'm grabbing my tweezers, and really I can use all three colors, so it's going to kind of depend on like what looks good. So for example, I think I want to put like just like a little pink one here on that you and me. Might be a little bit more room on this side. Some days I feel like I'm very good at just like making the decision and committing. And some days I feel like I'm a little more indecisive. So I might want to put, the nice thing about using the tweezers is I can kind of hold it there and see how I'm liking it. Then always stick it kind of back on here. So I think we'll just stop with that now. I put this one down here. I may end up using mainly oh, that's cute, in onto the journaling. So far I've used a lot of pink. So let's see what we do up here. That's cute. Those really do add. Now, okay, I know, you're sitting here telling me, saying, Nicole, you always say to do in threes. There, I did it in threes. Let me see. Oh, nope, it's stuck. I was gonna see what a pink one looked like down there. I think the red's cute. Let's see. Up in this little cluster here, our title. Super cute. Oh, these are so cute. Definitely gonna want to do one more. Should I try a pink one? Up there. Maybe I want the big one. That's cute. All right, so let's look at what we did here. We've got, this is our project recipe, and I did vary a little bit from the sketch. My photos are in the same place, so there's that. So I did full 12-inch pieces, and then the strip I did on the left-hand page was 3.5 inches, and then 6 inches for the second piece, and on the right-hand page I did 2 inches and 6 inches, which ended up being like the 6 inches was when I had originally planned. I was placing it out, I was looking at doing it actually 8 inches, and I ended up cutting it 6 because I didn't register that's how wide I had put on here, but it ended up turning out pretty good. I like that the left and right are not exact mirror image because the width of the two pieces are different. There were some strips that went across the bottom, but I ended up eliminating those because those didn't work as well with my layout design. And I think a lot of it is because of, I've already got that horizontal fill with the stripe, but because I had this, the vintage or the elegant diamond border along the edges, it was too much of changing directions of which way we were going. So other than that, I pretty much followed. It's got the general idea of the recipe. And I think that's something to keep in mind, is that these project recipes are a great starting off point, but feel free to adjust and adapt to work with your photos and your layout. And I think that this turned out super cute. I like my clusters. I think they draw your eye across the layout. I think this turned out to be a really fun, cute layout that really celebrated and recognized our Valentine's Day celebration this year. Well, thank you for joining me. Happy scrapbooking and have a great day.